Welcome to a new episode of Opening Bid. I'm Yahoo Finance's executive editor, Brian Sozzi. Like I always say, this is the podcast that will make you a smarter investor and a smarter leader. And we're going to lean into that smarter leadership vibe for this featured interview. Wendy's CEO, Kirk Tanner, in the house, just passed his 1 year mark as CEO. I remember seeing the press release yesterday.
Yeah, 1 year. Well, thank you.
Yeah, good to see you. So I was thinking as I prepared for this, I still remember eating Wendy's out of my car as a teenager. I would sit in there, I would order a fried chicken sandwich, some form of double cheeseburger, and just really enjoy it. I mean, one, life comes full circle, right? I mean, do you hear stories like that of people that are just, I guess, emotionally connected to this brand?
Oh, absolutely. Actually, when I first got the job, my brother sent me this text. He says, "Oh, Grandma Brazier would be so excited." It was her favorite restaurant. She would take us there. I'm addicted to Frosty, so I have probably 3 or 4 a week, but I've always loved Frosty. So, that's an exciting brand that, really makes me, tap into those memories.
I want to go into some of your expansion plans the first year and what you've been up to, but I always thought the Frosty was going to just be chocolate. I thought it was like a sacrilegious thing inside of Wendy's. Don't add extra flavors. This thing must be chocolate. How have you been able to sell that?
Yeah, look, we introduced vanilla in 2006, and pretty recently in the scheme of things, a 55-year-old brand. But look, when you think about customers, they love innovation and excitement, and everything we've done around Frosty has driven traffic. So right now we're doing a partnership with the Girl Scouts of the USA on the Thin Mint Frosty. That's driven some excitement and traffic into the restaurants. Last year we did orange dreamsicle, we did triple berry, we did salted caramel.
Makes sense.
Yeah, they're kind of seasonal. So in the spring you did, orange dreamsicle, and then, later in the year you did salted caramel, and man, it's magic. And it's just a little dose of fun and brings a little customer excitement. So
is the Frosty one of the most profitable things on the menu?
It's profitable. It's profitable,
right? I mean, it's just soft serve ice cream? Is that what
well, it's in between a shake and soft serve ice cream. I think that's a beautiful thing. It's unique. It's its own thing. It's served with a spoon. But we're doing a lot of innovation on Frosty. We talked about Frosty Swirls, Frosty Fusion. So we're going to launch a whole platform around Frosty that allows us to grow faster and reach what customers want.
I know my friends are going to watch this and ask, because I talked to a lot of friends from high school. It's okay to eat it with a spoon, right?
Yeah.
Or is it just a straw?
Well, I think it requires a spoon.
Okay.
You got to get in there.
We asked the tough questions here.
It's a spoon. You got to go spoon. Or French fry. A lot of people eat it. Have you ever tried it?
No, I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
Are you that guy?
Yeah,
French
I like
fry
it.
in the Frosty?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
4 times a week, you're dipping French fries in the Frosty.
You don't go through all your fries. It's a couple fries.
Okay.
And then you get in with the spoon. You start with a fry, it just gets a little salty, sweet kind of thing.
Okay, fair enough.
You got to give it a try.
So, I will. So, I remember following your career when you were at PepsiCo. I mean, you led the North America's business. I mean, that's no small business to lead.
Yeah.
What has been the mindset? What have you taken from that role and applied it within the first year here at Wendy's?
Yeah, I think the customer focus, being so consumer obsessed, 32 years in the consumer space really taught me how to love really trying to get in the mind of the customer and understanding what they want. And that's what I bring over in the experience from an experience at PepsiCo is, trying to understand what's going to move, where the trends are going to be, what customers are looking for, and how do you exceed customer expectation. That's really important at Wendy's. At Wendy's, we put our whole strategy through the customer lens. How do we put the customer at the center of everything we do? That means every strategic choice, you ask, is this good for our customer? Will this drive traffic? Will this help us gain share? Is it a point of differentiation? That is fun. Trying to understand where customers are is fun to me.
But I was talking to you off camera, one of the last reporting trips I made just before the pandemic, I think it was February 2020, was Wendy's headquarters.
Yeah.
And it was around the time of the breakfast launch. Maybe that's a good place to start here. And there was a really big debate at the time, should Wendy's be in breakfast?
Yeah.
You have McDonald's with an Egg McMuffin. You have Burger King out there with its croissant sandwich. Should Wendy's still be in this category, and how successful has this business become?
Yeah, it's been a real tailwind for growth. I think if you think about breakfast, it's about maximizing your potential of the restaurant. So opening early, you have those resources, that labor in the restaurant prepping for the rest of the day. But the opportunity is to get our fair share of breakfast in that space, and that's quite a bit, and we're about halfway there. So I think about the long-term growth of breakfast and how that provides a tailwind for us and grows faster than the rest of the business. So last year, breakfast grew about 6% for us. It grew faster than the rest of the business. We gained share in the space. So I like the opportunity for us. It's going to take time to reach our full potential, but year after year, we'll build on our breakfast platform.
So, how much will you invest in breakfast over the next few years? I mean, you're just hot off a, no pun intended, investor day.
Yeah.
How much will you put into the business?
Yeah, so it'll get more than its fair share from an advertising standpoint. We'll also invest in innovation for breakfast. We're working on breakfast beverages innovation. I'm passionate about beverages.
Yeah, I can see you.
I've spent a little
time.
time.
Why not lean into it, right?
I've spent a little time on beverages. So that, we know the morning occasion with, how we fuel our day, what gets us up in the morning, I think is really important. And we got an opportunity to grow there. We have the best food at breakfast. Customers tell us that. It's the highest quality, the freshest ingredients, just like the rest of our day part.
I would agree with you. Now,
it is unbelievable. Our food is unbelievable.
No, part of my gig, you have to stay skeptical and question everything. I get it. But
Yeah.
I'm also a consumer outside of like this glitzy media world. But your breakfast is good.
Yeah.
And it launched with a really differentiated menu. Like
Yeah.
very different compared to everyone
Yeah.
else. And you could tell it was a higher quality menu. So to your point, like what else is coming in sandwiches? How do you keep that innovative curve? And then what does an innovation look like in beverages for Wendy's?
Yeah, I mean, for innovation on sandwiches at breakfast, we continue to build off our fresh ingredients. Actually, I was getting a haircut on Saturday, and the guy cut my hair goes, what I love about Wendy's is the breakfast. And, I get the breakfast Baconator. And I was like, oh, I gave this guy a great tip, okay? I was like, oh, you made my day. On beverages, coffee forward innovation. Coffee is served cold for a lot of parts of the U.S. Now, we're in the Northeast.
Nobody wants
right
a
now.
hot coffee. It stains your teeth.
Well,
it's a millennial thing. It's just, let's
well,
just call it what it is.
in the Northeast, there's still a little hot coffee going on, but cold coffees and delicious cold coffees, you'll see us, work against those platforms. There's a lot of news coming on that, but we can deliver a great experience from a beverage standpoint, and we will. Yeah.
Where can Wendy's play in breakfast beverages? And I ask that because on the one hand, McCafe is pretty good. I don't expect you to admit that, but I appreciate what McDonald's does, and that's fair. But then I see what Brian Nichols is doing over at Starbucks, reinventing its menu. Like, what is the Wendy's lane? And do you really, is the headline here that Wendy's wants to challenge Starbucks, or is it something else?
No, look, I think it's about having a proposition that delivers against what customers want. We'll focus our energy on the fastest and highest growing spaces in the coffee space, and that gives us the complement to the rest of our our food menu. That's what we want to do. We want to build out the total meal and beverage. We want you to get your beverage, your meal all at Wendy's, and so we have to deliver a high quality experience. But we'll stay focused on it. Won't be 100 items. It'll be the key items that drive the most penetration.
Now every story that we post on Yahoo Finance seemingly on egg prices is, I mean, the uptick is crazy. And I get it from my mom too, paying over $10 for a dozen eggs in some cases, which is mind-boggling. Can you make a profitable breakfast sandwich right now with eggs at these prices?
Yeah, you can.
Really?
Yeah. It's still a profitable business. Food cost is still less than the rest of the day, so it's still attractive. There's inflation in eggs. We feel good about where we're at, but it's still profitable.
I always thought that I always thought the breakfast day part was a good indicator on the health of the consumer. People are out there traveling for work.
Yeah.
Any stress in the consumer you're seeing here through the lens of the breakfast business?
Well, mobility is a driver of breakfast, and we love convenience as customers, and that's the opportunity. We're focused on taking share right now and growing faster than the category. So that's where our focus is. And because it's new at Wendy's, we're continuing to talk about the freshness, the differentiation of breakfast. That's really the driver, and that's what allowed us to gain share in 2024. We plan on doing that in 2025.
Who do you think you're gaining share from in breakfast?
Well, the category. I think if you look at broadly the category, we're taking share from a variety of our competitors.
Those convenience stores egg sandwiches are gross. They're bad. I mean, they sit in the heat lamp.
Yeah, I mean,
Kirk, and they're awful.
Right. I mean, the value of breakfast, the opportunity and the ease, the convenience of breakfast. Come to Wendy's. Come to Wendy's.
But is it now that at the point where the consumer is feeling stretched, do you see them trading down from making eggs at home to a Wendy's? Are we there yet?
I think convenience is still king. I think when we get up in the morning, we want to get some energy. We're on the go. I know I am. I don't know about you, but
I'm always on the go.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, once you get going your morning, if you get a workout in, and then you're kind of sprinting to the office or you're sprinting to work, that behavior is why breakfast is so important from a convenience standpoint.
I do need.
And it's convenient. I mean, it is convenient.
I do need to know, Kirk. We do need the egg white turkey sandwich on a whole wheat bun or something.
Okay.
It's like the muscle builder's sandwich.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, no trademark. All right, we'll be right back here on Open Big, having a fun chat here with Kirk Tanner, CEO of Wendy's. All right, welcome back to Open and Bid here, talking all things Wendy's and fast food and all these, well, I guess, delicious things.
Yeah.
So clearly you're committed. You're staying in the breakfast business, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you can put that to bed.
Yes.
Let's go into the evening because it sounds like you're getting ready to take that innovative vibe to the evening with some new sandwiches. What are you hoping to introduce and what's the goal there?
Yeah, so innovation is really important. I think if you look at how do you drive excitement and how does that excitement halo the rest of your brands or your core business. I think that's really important. When we think about our menu, we think about delivering against the freshest quality ingredients, our fresh, never frozen beef. That's important for us to get that message across because that's a differentiator for us. So anything that we do has to halo that fresh, never frozen belief, and that starts with our hamburgers. We'll innovate on our hamburgers. We'll have a series of LTOs that drive excitement and they halo back to our brands. We also are innovating on chicken. We announced recently that we're going to do this partnership with Takis, and that really focuses on Gen Z consumers. That's right in the sweet spot.
What's the flavor on that thing?
It is called, they call it Fuego. It's chili limon.
Okay.
It's phenomenal.
Chili limon, never heard of it.
You've got to try some
well,
Takis.
I'm open. I'm open.
So we're doing a partnership with them. This is on our chicken sandwich, so it's an innovation on chicken that really excites, but most importantly, it's focused on the customer. It's focused on Gen Z, 18 to 24. It is in culture. It's a really cool innovation, and we're excited about that. So you think about burgers, LTOs that drive the freshness of the quality messaging. Chicken, we're going to do chicken innovation. We're going to start with this Takis partnership and that collaboration, I think, which is exciting because it connects you with culture as well.
Haven't we reached peak chicken sandwich?
Pardon me?
Peak chicken sandwich, haven't we reached that yet?
No, I think you can always innovate and always move the bar higher. We have, spicy, when I was growing up, spicy chicken sandwich was
that's what I was eating
my
out of
go-to.
my car as a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
I'm actually thinking about
it's like
this
a
right
number
now as I do
6.
this interview.
You got to have it. But look, things don't, things continue to move, right? You want to continue to grow, continue to innovate, and the chicken experience continues to change. People love sauces, they love spice, they love the experiences, and we want to be a part of that, and we will be a part of that.
Can I make a case to bring back the grilled chicken sandwich? So true story. 6 months ago.
I'm getting all sorts of ideas.
You are.
I got a breakfast sandwich idea.
I'm not going to say where I was.
Grilled chicken.
But I was driving home. I had gone out. I had a couple drinks. I was totally fine. I wouldn't be on the road if I wasn't.
Yeah.
I went for a grilled chicken sandwich.
Okay.
There's no more grilled chicken sandwich on the menu.
Okay.
Like, I mean, why?
I'll take the
just not eating grilled
feedback.
chicken? They're not eating grilled chicken? This is not a grilled chicken?
Yeah.
bar?
Oh, yeah. We have a grilled chicken wrap right now.
Okay.
I'll take
the sandwich was good.
Yeah, I'll take a look at that. I'll take a look at that. I'm always, look, customer first. Customer first.
I appreciate that. So you also are unveiling a thick cut bacon. Like, how big is this bacon?
Oh,
like is it just marketing?
No, it's huge. I've eaten like 6 of these.
Yeah.
I mean, it is substantial.
When does it hit? When is it?
It'll be later this year. We like to hang on to it so that we can get earned media. We'll talk about it closer in to when we launch it, but it's real. I've had several of these. It is thick. I think it will surprise I think it'll surprise customers. It's that kind of thick. It'll be like, wow.
Is I guess coming up with these new limited time offerings, will that be the ticket to your growth this year?
Look, I think it's a balance. I think you have to have a balance of innovation. Your core menu has to work hard for you, and value is also very important. And we'll do value through the quality lens, but it's a balance across the menu because you want to address customer needs across the spectrum and demographics, and I think that's really important. So LTOs will play a role. Again, it halos back to the core of our fresh ingredients. Value will play a meaningful role in our portfolio with the freshest ingredients. We have a biggie bag platform that is unbelievable value at the highest level of quality, and we'll innovate because we know those moments of excitement are really important to customers, so we'll continue to innovate.
Is discounting picking up in the industry? I'm starting to see a little bit of this from the pizza players.
Yeah.
To see Domino's offer what looks to be a large pizza for $5.99.
Yeah.
That's pretty unbeatable.
Yeah, I think if you think about Wendy's, it's about everyday value. So the Biggie Bag platform is everyday value. The value proposition that we bring through innovation is also important. And then we'll drive innovation through our app to drive loyalty and engagement. So we'll do a collection of those things, but you can count on everyday value at Wendy's.
How many of these AI-powered drive-thrus do you have open?
Well, we have 100 right now, and we're going to scale it up to 500 this year, and then we'll roll it out to the system.
That's big expansion. How does that change the drive-thru experience?
Oh, it's awesome. When you drive up, Wendy greets you. So
it is Wendy.
Yeah, it's Wendy.
Yeah.
She takes your order. She's polite. She's got hospitality. You get to see your menu in real time. You get to see what you asked for. It goes up on the board. And then when she calls back your order, it's right there in front of you, detailed. So it drives accuracy, engagement. And then Wendy also knows to ask you what you want in addition to what you've ordered. Maybe you forgot you wanted a Frosty. Mm-hmm. It's 95 degrees out. She'll remind you. She'll say,
Pretty clever.
Yeah. Hey, she always gives you an opportunity to make sure your order is complete.
Is this where we're going, the AI-powered restaurant, and how does that change? How is that going to change the economics of operating a restaurant?
Yeah, it drives efficiency. So it focuses. We want our associates focused on delivering hospitality and quality and accuracy in the restaurant. This is a tool that allows us to do that. So while Wendy's taking the order, the team's building the order to accuracy because that's what's most important to a customer. There's other tools that'll drive efficiency from supply chain, from the experience in the restaurant, how we design, how our teams operate in the restaurant. All those things drive efficiency, which is really important to operating a restaurant.
Are you a big believer in a robot-powered future? And I think back to what I think it was White Castle was trying out a couple of years ago with, I think it was Flippy, where they take it was just a robotic arm, looked like that's something straight out of a General Motors factory, and take it and flip the burger.
Yeah.
Any of those tests in the works for Wendy's?
We've looked at a lot of innovation from an automation standpoint. I've seen automated fry stations that we've looked at. We'll continue to look at efficiency opportunities in the restaurant, and if they make sense for our franchisees, we'll move down those paths. But we're always looking for opportunities to drive profitability in the restaurants, and innovation continues to get better. Just like AI. When we launched AI, we started with a few stores. We learned, it learns fast, and you build a platform from experience, and that's how I would think about automation as well.
Maybe I could tie this question into one. I look at Wendy's market cap. I can't believe it's $3 billion. I look at a company like a Chipotle, it's $67 billion.
Yeah.
You have a ton of restaurants.
Yeah.
Why does that gap exist? And then 5 years from now, how many Wendy's restaurants will you have open?
Yeah, this is a great question. This is why I joined Wendy's, for the potential of unit growth. That is the biggest unlock for the value. It's directly correlated to the value of our stock. So, and the potential for us to build restaurants is tremendous. So we just came out with our long-term guidance on our long-term strategy. At the high end, we'll have 8,300 restaurants. Okay, so we'll grow. Our unit development will be 3 to 4% over that same horizon. That is a real acceleration over our past. If you think about unit growth in the 1% territory, the last few years we've grown international 9%, and then domestically it's been flattish. in the future will grow 3 to 4%. 70% of those units will come from outside the U.S. 30% of those units will come inside the U.S. That is the growth opportunity. That's why it was so exciting to join Wendy's. One, the great brand, great equity, but the potential to drive growth in units is really the unlock.
In the last 2 minutes or so, we always love to get hot takes from our guests.
Hot takes.
You mentioned international. This is really an unprecedented time for investors and companies. A lot of things we're dealing with, tariff headlines, trade wars, a lot of new things that I think leaders have had to deal with before. And you have a big presence in Canada.
Yeah.
I mean, you're in what, Alberta, 213 restaurants in Ontario. Have you seen any pushback or change in trend in your sales because of what's going on here? We've already heard liquor makers saying or calling out consumers are not buying American-made liquor. I mean, have you seen that for an iconic American company such as Wendy's in Canada?
Well, we've been in Canada for 50 years.
Yes.
So we have over 400 restaurants. We have a healthy business, passionate franchisees. I think it's too early to see that, the impact of what's going on. We have a loved brand in Canada where we domestically source our ingredients from Canada. So we have a really strong business there. I would say it's too early to tell, but we love our Canada business and the franchisees that we have operating there.
Are those franchisees, I mean, this is their business.
Yeah.
This is their livelihood.
This is their business.
Are they nervous about what's happening here?
I mean, we're in constant dialogue with our franchisees all the time. Again, this is a very passionate group of franchisees, so the dialogue is there. We are, in with them to understand what's going on and what we can do to provide help and guidance. But I would say it's really too early to tell.
Do you have to lend more support to them? Do they come to you with more questions?
I think this is such a passionate group. They have been really forward with the customer in Canada. So they built this, this love base, I'd say, in Canada.
Kind of like Wendy's and Tim Hortons. That's where they get their stuff.
Right. So there's a long history there. That gives me confidence that we've been grounded there, that it's really part of the community and the culture in Canada. So that gives me hope. All
right, we're going to leave it there. Really interesting insight. Good to see you back on the unit growth.
Yes.
I know that is a big, it's always been a big call out on Wall Street for Wendy's.
The number one priority.
No, good stuff. All right, Wendy CEO Kirk Tanner, good to see you, and don't be a stranger.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, and that's it for the latest episode of Opening Bid. Continue to hit us with all those big stars on the major podcast platforms. Appreciate the feedback and love. Also, continue to give us those thumbs up on YouTube. I read all of your comments, and they make me better at what we do here at Yahoo Finance. We'll talk to you soon.